Hello, this is Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law. It's the Elder Law Report coming to you on Friday morning. It's December 1st. I can't believe it's December.
No, it's December.
Can you believe it's
Hi,
December,
guys.
Taylor?
No.
No. It's
Don't
ridiculous.
even mention how many days it is till Christmas.
We are at the center, Gastonia Adult Daycare Center. We're at the one in actually Mount Holly. There's one in Gastonia. There's one in Mount Holly. And we're going to have an awesome show where we're going to answer questions like, what is adult daycare? How do you pay for adult daycare? And what are the many benefits? And I mean, there are many, many benefits. Socialization, happiness, longevity, proper care, medications, as well as
Relief from the caregiver.
caregiver relief.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, stay tuned for an awesome show. You're going to have to stop avoiding our shows, okay? How
I'm
do you
not
get
avoiding
behind
the
the camera
show.
so much?
Because I'm the best camera person
You're the best
ever,
camera
Greg.
woman?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then we have Taylor here today. I mean, Hayden here today. Oh, Hayden,
Not Max
Taylor.
and me, she's meant
Wait a second. Taylor, Hayden.
Hayden
No,
Taylor.
backwards. Hayden. Okay. So Hayden's going to bring her happy place today as well as her unique perspective, okay, on all things, everything. All things, everything. That's Hayden. And Hayden, you recently went to New York, didn't you?
I did.
And upon your trip to New York, how do you go to New York without visiting Manhattan?
I've been there plenty of times. My husband's from Brooklyn, and we always visit his family. He's Jewish, and the only holiday we celebrate together is Thanksgiving. So we do that with his family.
Okay.
And my birthday always falls around that time, so I always get honored and
So
celebrated.
Mark did a good thing. Good job, Mark,
Oh,
right?
he did.
Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about Hayden's happy place today. Is going to be about her trip to New York minus Manhattan. How do you go to New York without going to Manhattan? That's
I've
impossible.
never been to New York, so next
And
time
we have Miss Karen Creech today.
Hello.
Okay? And she helps make all this possible at the center, okay? And she's going to be our resident expert, literally here today, talking about the center and adult daycare and all those things that we were going to explore. So, Taylor,
I'll take over the
are
camera.
you taking over the camera?
I am.
I can't
Greg,
believe
and we can add their brochure into the comments.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
we will. We're going to add the brochure into. Do the comments section, okay? So that you'll be able to check out the brochure. If you need any more information about the center, I'd like you to call them at 704-862-7540. And if you contact our office, I'm sure that Taylor, who got out of doing this today, because she's just being the camera woman. Thank you for doing that,
You're
Taylor.
welcome, Greg.
I'm sure our office would give that to them as well, right? So thank you, Karen, for being here today.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you all coming.
Yes. And you know what I miss about, I'll tell you one thing I miss about the radio show,
Yes.
is Milton playing Don't Worry, Be Happy.
That's right.
Bobby Farron.
You know, he does it without music. Maybe with a little practice we can
That's right. So our happy place today, right? Don't Worry, Be Happy. What's been happy lately? What's going on in the world, in Hayden's world?
Well, a lot's happy. I'm really happy about the book that you're writing.
Hometown
Working on
Heroes.
that.
That's right.
I'm happy that we have been doing a lot of seminars lately and
Yes.
educating people, which is one of my functions,
Sure.
education for your company. And I had a wonderful vacation/birthday celebration that lasted a week. So I've just had a ball. And as far as New York goes, yes, you can bypass Manhattan by going through Queens and the Bronx and
Yeah.
little
Maybe
other areas.
maybe I'm the one who's not doing it right, and I need to. I was pulling up trips the other day, and there was one that had a hotel in Brooklyn, right? But it was like North Brooklyn, and you just jumped across right to Manhattan.
Well, we
But it was
stayed,
like I could explore Brooklyn more or something.
we stayed in 3 different hotels.
Yeah.
And they were all very nice. Mark planned this very, very well. It was a
Okay.
whole week of my birthday.
Right.
And I had a cake from the cake boss, the guy on
Oh,
TV.
wow.
That's
We've
in
had those
is that not
before.
Manhattan
Well,
though?
this, no.
Doesn't he have a store in Manhattan?
In New Jersey, it's his
Okay.
home store. But he has satellite stores, and one's at the Woodbury Mall in Woodbury, New York. And he has, the cakes are really beautiful, but they taste phenomenal.
We're the elder law boss.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can come to our shop and get the best, very best.
Cakes. And you can. 'cause
Sonia.
Sonia cooks. Sonia
Yes,
makes
we have
it.
our own cake
That's a
boss.
true story.
Yeah, you're the boss, Sonia.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was great. There were some things that Mark knew that I wanted to accomplish. One was, I'm a shell collector. I've collected shells, and at one point I realized I had shells from every state, coastal state in the United States.
I think I've heard that.
except
Hayden collects seashells by the seashore.
Texas, Alaska, and New Hampshire.
Okay.
And New
That's
Hampshire,
the ones you had not had.
That's right.
That you still don't.
No, I had New Hampshire. That was one of the bucket list items he planned for us to do
Okay.
on this trip.
Okay.
So we drove 5 hours to New Hampshire, spent the night at a beautiful inn, and had a nice dinner.
What'd
We
you have
spent
for
more
dinner?
on food in this 6 days than we have spent, I think, in 6 months. We had one dinner was $192 because he insisted on taking me for the best steak that could be had. Movie star lists all over the place. I just felt it was very important. But it was a great trip. I got my shell, several actually,
From New
in New
Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Okay.
And Mark brought me a nice shawl with kind of fur collar. It was really pretty. And it was just a great trip. And I got to visit all my relatives, all my Jewish relatives, and
Yes.
celebrate with them. So it was
Good.
great.
That's awesome.
Family's important.
Family's very important. So now what do you have? How many states do you have left to collect shells for?
2,
Oh, wow.
Texas and Alaska. And I'm doing Texas next year in October. My husband has a show that he goes to,
Right.
and it's in Texas, and my niece lives in Texas. So he's going to deposit me with my niece while he does the show. She and my 2 little great nieces and I are going to go to the coast of Texas. It's about an 8-hour drive.
Sure.
And we're gonna go spend the night and, poke around somewhere in Galveston or something like that. I haven't checked to see what beach might be close to where they live. But we're gonna go do that. I'm gonna collect my shell, and then at some point, it's gotta be a cruise to Alaska.
Oh.
'Cause
I'll go with
I've
you.
tried Hawaii, so Alaska,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not on the show, so how can you go? You can't go if you're not on the show. So you're gonna have to start being on the show, and then you
Yeah,
can
you'll
go to
have
Alaska.
Taylor's,
There you go.
Taylor's happy
Taylor's
place.
We'll go together.
So, well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, thanks for sharing that. Okay.
Well, bucket lists I think are important.
For everyone or for seniors
Well,
or
I'm
what?
70, so I'm a senior.
Okay.
And I turned 70. This was
Wonderful.
why my
Wow, I would have
husband was-
never known.
Oh, thank you. We planned that.
That's a
yeah,
good
I
movie,
just-
by the way, too. The bucket list.
I'm
Yeah,
25.
that's
I'm
it.
25.
Well, I think you ought to have bucket lists all through your life,
Okay.
because otherwise you will just let your thing. You know how much I love how you sign your emails. Have a great day.
Yes, make it a great
Well,
day.
I make
Let's
it a great day instead of
not
have a great day.
Because people who
And-
have one are just like something's gonna happen.
Well, you're kind of a
I hope
victim
it's good.
of circumstance.
That's right.
Right.
And I use that all the time, and I give you full credit. But I also translate that to have a great weekend.
Right.
Make a great weekend. We have 52. How many do you remember? So as we get older, are we
Weekends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Or states.
come to a daycare.
That's right.
Have friends. Make
Volunteer.
friends. Those are yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking.
So
I'm gonna-
so bucket lists are important.
Yeah.
Make the
At
most
all
of your
ages.
time.
We
Well,
should
think
make
about your
that our
kids.
movie one day
What,
on Movie
bucket-
Fridays. Bucket list. I own it.
The bucket list.
The
we need to
bucket
watch the
list.
bucket
All
list.
right.
That's true.
We do a
Have you ever
movie
seen the
every
bucket
Friday.
list? Yeah.
They started out business and kind
Well,
of.
thanks for that. But we're here for the center.
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Creech,
Yeah.
thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us your role here at the center?
I am the adult daycare program supervisor.
Right.
So I manage this facility here in Mount Holly and also the one that's in Gastonia.
Okay.
So that's, I've been in this role actually since May of this year. So
Mhm.
I am learning as I go.
Okay.
So some things have been enlightening to me as I came into this program. Our facility that's in Gastonia has been there for over 20 years, and I actually live in Gastonia, and I was aware of it, but I wasn't really aware of the details of adult daycare.
Right.
Even though I was aware of where it existed and things of that nature, I didn't know how you got somebody in, what the criteria was, what eligibility was, nor
Sure.
how much it cost. So even being aware of it wasn't enough for me to make a suggestion that somebody should use that service.
And you've been in senior care for a long time. That's been your career.
not my entire career, but
Right.
in some capacity. I actually started out in the Shelby area.
Right.
And what at that point was Century Care for Shelby, now Peak Resources.
Right.
So I was a social worker there in the mid-90s up to 2000. And then went
So you
into...
have perspective too, though, from a nursing home,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So you can give us a good, you naturally probably do
Right.
that, the comparison to adult daycare, yeah?
Right. Similar, some of the things that are similar, of course, the population.
Sure.
The severity of the
I didn't
medical
mean to cut, I
issues.
didn't mean to cut off your work history, by the way.
No, that's fine. But there are some differences that I noticed, and it was surprising to me, actually.
Right.
I actually transitioned out of senior care somewhat into working with adults in geriatrics, with adults who had mental health issues also.
Okay.
And did that for some time, and then stayed in behavioral health for
I'll
some
come
time.
see you when I get there.
Okay. you know, well, everybody's living longer.
There you go.
And that's
Yeah.
something. And then I transitioned back to this setting with seniors.
Sure.
And I'll tell you one of the differences that I first noticed when I started working here, and this was the first week I started, is when they were in a nursing home setting, we cared for them. So family members, their biggest concern is that we made sure that we did our jobs
Mhm.
and that we took care of their loved ones. When I came into this setting, what I saw is caregiver burnout. And that was the biggest thing that opened my eyes, because you may actually use this program so that you can work, but guess what? You work a 40-hour week, you're going home.
You mean, for the most part, that's my
Right.
Yeah, I gotta
Right.
bite my tongue, so I'll let you
Right.
finish. But family caregivers,
Right,
that's what we see a lot.
right.
And burnout with
Right.
family caregivers.
Mhm.
I mean, if you looked at a chart of lifespan of family caregivers, you know, if this is, you know, a regular chart or something, you know, it greatly declines
Right.
life expectancy.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes family caregivers will predecease the people that
Most
are caring for.
definitely.
Right.
In fact, right before, it's funny you said that. Right before you all came in, I actually conducted an intake in the Gastonia office,
Right.
and I was meeting with a retired police officer,
Mhm.
and he said, you know, I was in law enforcement for years and was stressed, but caregiving and transitioning out of this has been more overwhelming than I expected.
Sure.
And that's what it is. Nobody tells you about the stress that comes from giving care to adults. You can get information about your children. They're going to tell you, you know, when you have a child, you're not going to sleep very much. You know, they're going to
Yeah.
tell you, and they
I
have.
haven't slept in like 17 years.
Oh, really? So you're still not sleeping?
That's the prenatal information.
Right. And there are lots of people that will tell you what you need to do.
Mhm.
How do you get your child to sleep? How do you train them? How do you redirect them? What should you do? You get all those supports from people in the community, so you know what to expect. A lot of times when it comes to senior care, people don't see it coming,
Right.
and they get hit with it, and they say,
And sometimes
I never
they have their own lives too.
right, most
I mean,
definitely.
how am I going to work my job and
Right.
take care of mom and dad?
Right.
Or how am I going
And
to,
children.
you know, or even have my own life and not lose myself?
Right,
I mean, because I can see even raising kids, it's that way.
right,
I mean, you lose yourself sometimes. You lose connection with your spouse
right.
sometimes.
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, and you know, gosh, I mean, I've got to have those regular date nights.
Most
I've got to,
definitely.
you know, I've got to
I'm good
have.
at that, though.
I don't know, man. I try.
You try.
But it's a balancing act all the time.
Right.
And now if you add it in there, then I'm also taking care of another adult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Getting
how
it
to
from
do it.
both sides a
I
lot
don't
of
know how to
times.
do it. Yeah.
Mhm. And we are something that can remedy that.
Right.
Coming to adult daycare can relieve stress, and also, you know, help an individual to maintain employment. You know, we're open at 7:30 in the morning. We close at 5:30. If you work an 8 to 5, you can bring your loved one into the program, drop them off before 8, work your day, and be free from stress and pick up at the evening. In the evening, I had one caregiver that said, I can't even concentrate at work. She said, when mom's at home, I'm thinking, did she leave the stove on?
Right.
Did she wander out? Is somebody coming by there that I don't know? And she said, I'm not very effective on my job. Well, a daycare setting for an adult can be a place where you can actually put your loved one and go and actually do an effective job. So from that perspective, it's a great benefit. And then you might be retired. You actually might be able to stay at home, but you are burned out.
But that's not a retirement.
Right. It's just doing something else.
Yeah.
And caregiving is much more difficult. And sometimes you just need that relief to be able to go shopping, to pick up things, that you need to do. Sometimes just rest. I've had caregivers come in and say, well, I'll let mom or dad or their loved one come in so that I can go shopping, pay the bills, I can go do this and that. And I said, how about just go home and rest? And their mind doesn't even think I need a break.
Imagine sitting down on the couch after the first day in adult daycare and having peace of mind, and just the exhale I could think would be, it's like when I had one of these moments when the kids and everybody else were gone just for a day.
Right.
And I sat down on the couch, the same thing, and I'm like, number one, what do I do with myself?
Right.
Number two, I don't have to do anything.
Right.
And I can just sit here for a little bit.
Right. How about do nothing?
It was almost like a I want to cry moment or something, just release
Maybe
it,
that's
just
what you
chill.
do.
Yeah, maybe,
Cry.
maybe, and just but yeah, those things are important.
Right.
And I have clients a lot of times who are struggling with, what do I do?
Right.
Oh my gosh, I've got to make sure that mom or dad is well cared for.
Right.
And they need their medications.
Right.
They need somebody there that can care, but maybe we can't afford round the clock. We don't know how we're going to afford round the clock in-home service.
Right.
Man, I'm not ready, to place parent, or they don't want to go to assisted living or nursing home care.
Right.
What do I do? And a lot of times, it will come to mind because I've been doing this for a while, and I'm familiar with adult daycares and what they do, and I'm like, adult daycare. Have you thought about that? I thought about that for an option, because they can accomplish all these things. They can make sure that they get their medications on time.
Right.
And then there are other benefits too, other than just sitting at your house.
Right.
Okay.
One that I just thought of.
And it's affordable. It's affordable.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
Affordable.
it's a much more affordable option. And then mom or dad can still sit down at dinner with you and eat dinner at night, right? And still have a sense of home.
Right. And like you said, socialization is important to maintaining wellness. Getting out, people underestimate the power of socializing. Talk is therapeutic, and being able to connect with people, having friendships are really important. And someone may actually not need supervision, but just needs that socialization.
And purpose, a place to go.
You're absolutely right.
You've talked about, even more than me, just the power of socialization.
Right.
And what your
I've
friends
read about that.
mean to you.
Right, and I'm caretaker for my father-in-law, my sister, and my brother. And one thing that I've thought of while we're sitting here thinking, I don't have really a lot to talk about with my dad, because he sits there all day, and he's getting better, believe it or not.
Right.
But he's before he was able to do things, he had nothing to talk about. He would tell me about the westerns he saw.
Right.
But here, you have activities
That's
for
right.
them and friends, and they come in, and you have something to talk about at dinner.
Right.
And it's much more of a congenial relationship that way.
And they feel like they have purpose.
And they've been somewhere and done something.
Oh yes, and so it is great. And there are some things that, as children, and even when you have, sometimes individuals think, okay, I'll just get an aide, even if you could afford that. Now that gets pricey.
Yes.
But if you had an aide that comes in, that's somebody that is paid to care for them.
Sure.
Doesn't it make you feel better to have somebody that's not paid to socialize with you?
Right. A friend.
Right.
Other people.
Other people, not even us as staff,
Right.
because we're paid
You're
support.
paid. Sure.
But they create friendships. We can't create that. It is created on their own. And I tell this story because it was so sweet at the other facility. There's a lady that was 99 years old, and the other lady was 90. And of course we have downtime, not nap time, but in between, seniors need that break in between activities. So after they eat lunch, they have downtime. Some of them might take a nap. Some of them might color. Some of them socialize, put puzzles together, watch Family Feud or The Price is Right. It's whatever they want to do during that time. So these two ladies, they do adult coloring. And I can hear them having conversations. And one of them came 4 days
Like
a week.
adult coloring books?
Yeah.
They're just really complex adult coloring
They
books.
are.
My kids
I
love
can't
them
do
too.
it. I
My
can't do
older
them.
kids, yeah.
But they really get into adult
Sure.
coloring.
It's therapeutic.
Most
apparently.
definitely.
Yeah.
It is therapeutic.
Right.
And so they were out there coloring, and I can hear their conversations. One's 99 and one's 90. One comes 4 days a week and one comes 5. And I hear them out there talking. And the one that comes 5 days a week, she says, you know what? It sure is lonely when you're not here.
Oh.
Now, I thought that is so sweet. You as a child cannot give that to your
Right.
mom or dad.
Right.
Nobody can. We can't even give it to them. No in-home aid. That connection created between those two was a true friendship, and they actually stayed in touch with each other. They had the opportunity to see each other. Friendship is important. That gave that 99-year-old woman purpose.
Yeah.
I have somebody that misses me.
Sure.
I have somebody that wants me around. And I've heard some people say, I guess y'all would just wish we'd go on and die. And it's like, no, we need your wisdom.
Yeah.
You still have purpose, regardless of how old you are.
Mm-hmm.
A program like this can give them that.
How do we pay for adult daycare?
Well, adult daycare,
Yeah.
it is affordable. There are some programs that are available. There is some state adult daycare funding that we get from the state, but of course there are wait lists for those items in a lot of cases
Is
because
that cap?
no, it's a state adult daycare funding. The CAP program actually is a program that allows individuals to stay at home. They meet skilled
Yeah.
care,
Mhm.
and they actually can stay home with one-on-one care.
Sure.
State adult daycare funding is a state-funded program that can assist with daycare settings.
Yeah.
However, of course, we're living in an aging society. We all know that people are living a lot longer.
Sure.
As they age and live longer, the incidence of dementia rise. So we see that people are in need of those services
Right.
soon. They call it a silver tsunami. You know, I think it was 2011, the first baby boomer became 65 years old. So we've got a big influx of seniors coming in. So those dollars are waitlisted. But the cost daily actually is affordable for a lot of individuals, even to pay privately. Where an individual might pay $6,000 to $9,000 for an assisted living setting, here they're paying between $35 and $56 a day.
Right.
And we're actually on the lower end right now. We're connected to the county. Right now, to come to our programs is $35 a day. We'll probably have some rate increases in the future, but still, for less than $1,000 a month.
Could you-
Very
Right,
surprised
Right,
at that.
right. It is
So that's
a
it.
lot.
I mean, it's affordable, right?
Yes.
It's very affordable, and then so you.
Especially if you've got a job, you've got to have it.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
And you want to keep the continuity of that job.
So you could use it a few days a week, or you
Yeah.
could use it 5 days a week, or
No, we're not a drop-in, so
Yeah.
you have to have scheduled or contracted
schedule.
days.
You got to schedule. a
Yes,
contract,
because
yeah.
just like a regular daycare setting, we have to keep our ratios.
Sure.
For every staff, there are 8 participants that can be here. So
Okay.
you can't just say, hey, I'm going to drop
Right.
mom off today. I've got to go do this and take off.
You have to schedule that.
Right.
But if somebody calls, they can work that out with you.
Oh,
So you
yes,
have-
most
you
definitely.
do intakes and work.
Yes. So anywhere between 1 and 5 days a week. Some do 5 days a week, and some, it depends on why it's needed. Of course, if you work a Monday through Friday, you need every day and every minute, 7:30 in the morning till 5:30.
Right.
But if you're somebody that's retired, mom doesn't want to get up that early, or the loved one doesn't want to get up that early, maybe they'll come in at 9. So you'll see people staggered. For example, we have a smaller group, but people will continue to come in throughout the day, and then some will leave about 4, 4:30, or 5. So it's based
Sure.
on that individual's needs.
What are your hours?
7:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
So somebody can work an 8 to 5 job
Yeah.
and still participate in the program.
That's right now. How long are your contracts?
Mm.
For a month or a week or?
No, we set up, the contracts are ongoing and continuous. I mean,
Okay.
so they will continue. We've got individuals in our program. I think one lady passed away, and I think she had been there 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
I mean, she it was a place, I mean, they hate to miss coming. I mean, like I said, that's where their friends are.
That's awesome. You know, you want to get up and go.
Oh, yes,
You know,
yes.
I mean,
Mhm.
you just see many benefits of
Most
of this,
definitely.
you know.
Now, I'll say right off the bat, and maybe you experience this, that sometimes seniors don't always initially recognize the benefits of coming. I see a lot of seniors
And there's a
saying,
stigma with the name
Right.
daycare, adult daycare. That's for children, right?
Right,
That's
right.
so. And I think the industry, you guys, I'm sure,
Right.
are dealing with that stigma,
right.
and maybe but maybe mom and dad would much rather go to the center than adult
Most
daycare,
definitely. Right, and that's why we're looking at this name change. We're right in the middle of a name change and hope to have it formally in place. We are calling ourselves the Center Daycare Services for Adults,
Right.
but we are right in the middle of a name change process. So we've already notified the state of this change. So you say, Mom, we're going to the center. Oh, that sounds much better than Mom, we're going to daycare.
Right.
Some people don't embrace that so nicely. So,
Sure.
yes. So we do want it, but what we'd like to get known as is you can simply say the center and people automatically know daycare services.
Yes.
So that's what our goal is.
Okay.
So we're just going through those transitional processes, trying to get the word out. One thing that I'm finding actually here is, and the staff will say, this is the best little secret in Mount Holly. We don't want it to be a secret anymore.
Right.
Some people, everybody knows about Farm Supply next door. Everybody sees EMS here, but they don't know that we're right here, that we have a building right here in the Mount Holly area. And people, what I have found is, I started going out to different programs that include seniors. The Gaston Adult Network Group is another program, and the Gaston Health Resource Group. And so I explained to one of the individuals here that we did have a site in Mount Holly.
Right.
She was an individual that actually drove her mother to Kings Mountain to a program. She said, I've lived in Mount Holly 25 years, and I don't know where it is. And I said, it's right beside the Farm Supply. She said, I go there all the time. It was almost as if she didn't believe me. She said, I'm coming by there.
Right beside Farm Supply.
That's right. I said, well, come on by, we're here.
Mount Holly.
Well, that's how your
That's right.
business was at one point. You weren't known, and then you
Correct.
gradually, you have reached out through
And
seminars
now-
and presentations.
And now the Today Show wants me to replace Mike Lauer.
Oh.
Can I say that? Is that?
Oh,
is
no.
that,
Do it now.
I can't say that.
No, it's too
No.
late.
Oh, it's we're in contract negotiations.
Yeah,
So
okay.
yeah, I mean, so I'm glad I could stop by on my
Remember
way
me when you make it
to
to
Manhattan.
the top.
That's right. That's right. I will. We'll have you there on the
Oh,
show.
that's
Yeah.
great.
And I'm not saying that I would do that, but okay. I mean, I'm available on weekends. Okay, we can start the Today Show on the weekends. So
Yeah.
anyway, but I'm glad that we could come by. Can you show us around a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We've got our participants out here. Melinda is our activities director here, and she's actually, it looks like they're doing some sort of game. Again, our goal is to stimulate them cognitively, socially, and physically. So this might be the cognitive. We'll find out when we get out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Melinda.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Melinda.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you doing, ladies? Hello, sir.
We're
I'm
playing.
Greg. Hey, I'm okay. I'm okay.
You sure?
I don't know.
We don't have to test you?
Yeah, you might have to test me. I'm not sure. Am I okay? Don't ask them. Oh, don't ask them. Yeah. We were just coming out to. She was telling us about the center and
Hey, Melinda.
some of the things you guys do. I just wanted to come say hey, and we're just trying to tell the story of the center and activities, and sounds like a pretty cool place to come every once in a while.
It is,
Yeah. So
it is.
thanks. Don't
Make you
mind me.
think.
Make me think. Yeah. Make you think when you're here. Yeah.
So you're using your brain right now.
What are you guys working on?
Things that have to do with Christmas.
Things that have to do with Christmas. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, okay.
Can you give us a letter?
Yeah.
What you got up there?
She's gonna put you to work.
Man,
Oh,
presents
yeah.
for the kids. No, that's not a letter. Okay, L.
What?
Yeah.
L's for loser. That wasn't a letter. No. Go ahead. Anybody else got a letter?
Money.
That's not a letter. M.
Okay.
Good job, Hayden.
He said,
Okay,
That's
we'll
usually
take
my
an
old
S.
S.
Good job, Hayden.
Okay. Oh, did you say M
She
or
said
N?
She did say
Oh,
M.
yeah.
That's okay, you gave us the S. The S was free. Okay, we got an S.
So no M's.
Who's next?
Hey, Ruby.
C.
Shop. S-H-O-P-E.
You're confusing me.
Somebody got a C. Good job, Taylor. Taylor's the only one.
I know what it is.
We gotta
So
see
we
this
got
minute.
C.
I see that, I'm trying to
She
figure
sees
out.
that you
Okay,
have a C.
okay, I got you, I got you.
Christmas.
Yes.
Good
That's
job.
not, you can't, you can't, we didn't get to play. What's your name?
You're too slow.
What's your name? Ruby. Ruby, that's too quick.
And Ruby's our queen bee. She's been here since 2006.
Right.
Ruby.
The site facility was 2007. That they, initially the facility was in Belmont, and I think they've been here, look, Ruby, you can probably tell.
Almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years, that's right. So they moved from Belmont here to Mount Holly.
Well, we went to Robert Street for a while.
For Roberts
While I
Drive.
was getting this ready.
What they did is, our Gastonia site, that's Roberts Drive that Ruby was mentioning. And while they were renovating this area, we combined the facilities for that short period of time.
Sure.
And then renovated this one and opened it up, yeah, so.
Well, Ruby, you like it here okay, every once in a while, just to hang out?
I
You
really
got,
love it.
you got a couple of friends here?
All of them.
All of them?
Not
Okay.
many said they're not friends.
That's funny.
Oh, goodness,
Well, thank you for letting us visit with you for a second, okay? And try to play, although I don't think I helped out much.
No, you didn't.
She gave us an S. She gave us.
yes. Yeah, she did give it to you.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
It's nice to meet you.
Sure, sure.
Again, one benefit to this facility is open, so we're able to view individuals in different locations. We don't cook here. We actually have our meals catered in for lunch. So an individual that comes here during the day, they get a light snack in the morning when they come in. They have lunch around 11:30, and then they get afternoon snacks. So we do try to keep it nutritious. However, at this site, there is a volunteer that cooks them a cake, or I think they had cherry cobbler this week, and she drops it off every week. I saw red velvet over there. So of course you have volunteers that come in and donate food often. So we try to keep it.
It has to do with
Keep them on a diet, but the community won't allow that to
Won't
happen.
allow.
Always.
There's some sweets and treats here.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So we're not a locked unit.
Okay.
It's secured. People can't come in.
Right,
But
but you can leave anytime you want
well, let me say that differently.
Okay.
We do a whole lot of redirecting.
Redirection?
we
Okay.
redirect a lot.
to. Gotcha, okay.
They can walk out the door. We have alarms on the doors
Oh, gotcha.
here, and so we redirect people.
Okay.
We try
Just to make that clear.
nobody's
Thank
going
you.
on.
All right.
Right, but
Okay.
we're not a locked unit.
Gotcha.
That's why it's beneficial to have it open. We only have 2 doors that an individual can exit, but
Is this a courtyard?
it is.
Okay, huh?
Yes, and so they sometimes can go out here. It is.
Oh, get that vitamin D.
That's right. That's right. They've got a nice.
I need more
space
vitamin
here.
D. That's important, I think, right?
Oh, yes.
Good stuff.
I've actually prescribed vitamin D.
So it is a secure space. Of course, they haven't been out here because it's been a little cooler lately, but yes, they come out and they have banana split parties outside. We had a volunteer come in and build a planter box, and in the summer, they're planting tomatoes and different things out here. It's at a level where someone in a wheelchair can still work,
Sure.
and also where someone that can stand up. I mean, stooping down low limits people, and maybe they really enjoy planting items and gardening, but now you can't get to the ground, or you need to sit down. So this is something that's beneficial to them. And they actually had some delicious tomatoes, and then
Horticulture therapy, right?
yes, most
Yeah.
definitely. And they had tomato sandwiches one afternoon as a snack. So they got to eat the fruits of their labor afterwards also. So,
that's
yeah,
great.
so this is a nice area that they enjoy coming to after hours.
Sit out here and read in good weather.
Yeah, during that downtime, if somebody wanted to come out here, it is again secured, so we would send staff out here with them, and then they could come outside. And like you said, this is a beautiful area that they can come to.
Yes, ma'am. After you, camera.
Thanks, Greg.
We also have educational programs for the individuals that come here. They had a matter of balance class. That's a session that teaches fall prevention. So these individuals go home every day, and we want to make sure that they're able to stay in their home. So we provide education classes. For example, how do you safely get up and down? What exercises should you do to maintain the strength in your legs? Things of it. What should you not do any longer? You know, as we get older, there are certain things we should just not do, like climbing up on roofs, things of that nature. Sometimes for the individuals here, it might be, I don't need to reach up as much and change light bulbs out. You might need to tell your family members, you know, at that time, hey, I'm going to need some help with those types of things. So we do have educational classes also here for them. Those flowers that you were looking at,
Yes.
actually were a donation from a volunteer that comes in. They actually, some of the programs that we have, we make it available to the community. For example, the Matter of Balance class that we had here, we'll partner a lot of times with community agencies to conduct those programs. So
That's a little advertising too.
yes, most definitely. We had advanced care planning here so that individuals could get living wills conducted at our facility. We had Gaston County Hospice come in here, and actually on December the 7th at our Gastonia site, we're going to have advanced care planning. So individuals can come in, have living wills completed for free, and go over advanced directives information. So that's available to the community at our Gastonia site, and that's going to be Catawba Hospice program is coming in there. So we've got some information out that. So we want to be a resource to the community also to help seniors in any way that we can. But the volunteer that sent those flowers, we actually had a big Thanksgiving dinner. We invited all of our volunteers, and we cooked, and I'm not used to that. I ended up doing 3 Thanksgiving dinners, one at home, and then one in Gastonia, and then one here. But they just thought it was so wonderful that they sent us flowers. So we've got some wonderful volunteers here. Great activities. We have a large amount of volunteers. On Wednesday afternoons at this site, we have a 7-person band that comes in. We invite volunteers from the community. They play music, they sing. We set up chairs, and this is the hot spot for seniors. So every Wednesday, we invite people in from the community, and they said, you know what? One of the volunteers said, this is wonderful. He said, you know, when the chaos in the world is going on, he said, we know that we can come in here and there's always love and oneness and caring. And he said, this is a place that we've always loved. So that's been something that's really wonderful here.
Karen, thank you for being with us today.
Yes, thank you.
I greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
Okay,
I appreciate
and teaching
it.
us about the center and adult daycare and how to pay for it and what the benefits are. So if you have any questions for Karen, can you give us your phone number again?
Yes, you can contact me at our Gastonia site at 704-866-3677. And here at this site, it's 704-827-9148.
And is there a way they can reach you online if they're Googling late at night or anything? Yeah.
Our Facebook pages actually are the Gastonia Adult Day Center or the East Gaston Adult Day Center. So
Okay.
you can send messages through that also.
So check out the social media site as well. So
Yes,
thank you for watching the Elder Law Report Unplugged, where we love bringing you great and valuable information, not just from a radio studio, but from the real world, out in the community. So thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we'll be back at you next week, Friday at 10 o'clock. And what are we talking about next week?
We're going to the Leona Neal Senior Center.
We're going to the Leon Neal Senior Center and talking about activities and how great senior centers are for seniors as well. So have a great day.